But now we're going to talk transfers. We're less than a week away from the transfer window opening for a 10-day period, and we could see some famous names make moves. Speaking of famous names, our chief reporter, Kaveh Solokol, is here. Kaveh, good to see you. Bruno Fernandes, he's a pretty famous name. Is he on the move?
Well, it could be. Saudi Arabian club Al-Hilal really want to sign him, and they're playing in the Club World Cup next month, so they can use this window from June the 1st to June the 10th to sign him. But Manchester United have made their position very clear. They don't want to sell the player. But you and I both know the way the football business works. Every player does have his price. And there are reports that Al-Hilal are willing to pay £100 million for him and give him an incredible tax-free long-term contract as well. So I think in the next few days, there is a real decision for Manchester United to make, because the clock is ticking. Al-Hilal want to sign players for the Club World Cup. That's
interesting. Well, Ruben Amorim is in Kuala Lumpur with his United team. They're on that post-season tour. He was asked whether they'll be busy this summer in the market.
I have to say that for us not to be in the Champions League could be an advantage to perform well, to perform better, to prepare better the games, to build that core that we need for the future. So I think it's a good thing for us to take advantage, not to have European games.
So he's telling us not to expect much. How can they get Matheus Cunha through the door then?
Well, look, I think Matheus Cunha wants to play for Manchester United. That's the important thing. And also he has this release clause in his contract, around £62 million. Now, if United decide to trigger that release clause, they're not going to be paying the £62 million up front. They will pay it in 3 instalments, each around £21 million. So that transfer fee will be paid over 3 years. I know United's finances aren't great at the moment. Obviously, like a lot of clubs as well, they have PSR concerns. They've missed out on the Champions League. That could cost them around £100 million in lost revenue. But players could be leaving. Manchester United is still a big club. They generate a lot of income. So I think they will be busy in the market this summer. But obviously, they are not going to be throwing money around. They have to be very careful when it comes to their spending.
Talk to me about one of their former players, Cristiano Ronaldo. Is he going to the Club World Cup?
Well, this is a really interesting story because Ronaldo plays for Al Nassr. His contract runs out at the end of next month. Last night, he was playing for Al Nassr. Guess what? He scored again. I think his 800th career goal. But after the game, he put up this rather cryptic message on social media saying this chapter is over. The story continues, ? Now, the big question is he going to sign a new contract at Al Nassr? There have been lots of talks, no news yet. Or will he try and play in the Club World Cup next month? Now, FIFA have done everything possible to try and get all the world's big star players to play in this tournament. You've mentioned it. There's this special transfer window from the 1st of June to the 10th of June. So he could sign a short-term contract. For instance, he could sign for Al Ahly. They are playing in the Club World Cup. Riyadh rivals of Al Nassr, his present club, who are not playing in the Club World Cup. Other options, for instance, there's been lots of talk that he may move to the Brazilian club, Botafogo. Now, they became champions of South America for the first time in December. Lots of links in the Brazilian media with Ronaldo. That could be a possibility. Guess what? Some of his former clubs are also playing in the Club World Cup as well. Real Madrid, Juventus. So we know Lionel Messi is playing in the Club World Cup. Will we also have Cristiano Ronaldo playing in the Club World Cup? I think it's a real possibility now, depending on how you interpret his cryptic message on social media last night.
Obviously, if he goes, ticket sales will go through the roof. Is that what it's all about, to get him there?
You're so cynical, Mike. Every weekday around this time, you ask me a cynical question. But no. To be honest, you do make a very good point. FIFA have already got Lionel Messi into the tournament. Now getting
Man United captain Bruno Fernandes $135 million Al-Hilal transfer deal, UK media reports. Though there had been no official word from Al-Hilal about any approach to the player, Several British media outlets reported on Tuesday that the 30-year-old rejected a massive deal said to be worth £80 million to £100 million, $108 million to $135 million. BBC Sports said the Portuguese midfielder spent the past few days seriously considering an offer that would have more than doubled what he earns at Old Trafford, where he is already one of the top earners. Having discussed the deal with his family, however, Fernandes told the Saudi club he would not be joining them. Portugal were preparing on Tuesday for their Nation League semi-final against Germany on Wednesday, and with Fernandes expected to participate in the pre-match press conference in Munich, it was thought the question of Al-Hilal's interest in him might be raised. Man United were said to be thrilled and relieved by his decision to stay with the club. Head coach Ruben Amorim had said last week that he believed his captain would remain at Old Trafford for the foreseeable future. According to the British media reports, there was no direct communication between the two clubs, so United were never presented with any official offer from Al-Hilal that they could turn down. However, the stories suggested the Saudi side were willing to offer Fernandes up to £100 million to sign in time for the FIFA Club World Cup, which will take place in the U.S. between June 14 and July 13. The Mirror newspaper quoted former United star Rio Ferdinand as saying he was delighted that Fernandes decided to remain in England. "I've got to be honest, it's the biggest news for me today," Ferdinand reportedly said on his podcast. Sky Sports said that Al-Hilal offered Fernandes £100 million to join and were willing to almost treble his £250,000 a week wages, and his decision to turn them down was thought to be both a football and personal one. It was also reported that the player's agent, Miguel Pino, had visited Riyadh for talks with senior Al-Hilal executives, but this could not be independently confirmed. Talksport.com said Fernandes rejected an eye-watering £700,000 a week move after discussing it with his family and coach. Former United right-back Gary Neville told Sky Sports the transfer would not have been a bad deal, financially, for the Old Trafford club, but added, "He's so important. The fact that he wants to stay, the fact that he wants to go through this and come out the other side, because it would have been easy for him at the end of this season to say, 'Look, I'm done here,' will endear him towards Manchester United fans even more." Al-Hilal often shares important news through the club's account on social media platform X, but there had been no mention of any potential offer to Fernandes. Speaking to media in a Portugal camp ahead of Wednesday's Nations League semi-final against Germany in Munich, Bruno confirmed he received an exciting offer from Al-Hilal, but wanted to be part of Ruben Amorim's rebuild at Old Trafford. Reports said Al-Hilal was willing to pay United up to £100 million, $135 million for the 30-year-old Portugal international. "The president of Al-Hilal called me and asked me if I wanted to move there," Bruno confirmed, saying the club waited for me to think about my future. Bruno Fernandes confirmed Tuesday he rejected a huge offer from Saudi Arabia to stay at Manchester United, saying he wanted to continue to play at the highest level. Scored 98 goals for United since his £47 million move from Sporting Lisbon in January 2020. Photo credit, RUTRS Bruno Fernandes confirmed Tuesday he rejected a huge offer from Saudi Arabia to stay at Manchester United, saying he wanted to continue to play at the highest level. Speaking to media in a Portugal camp ahead of Wednesday's Nations League semi-final against Germany in Munich, Bruno confirmed he received an exciting offer from Al-Hilal, but wanted to be part of Ruben Amorim's rebuild at Old Trafford. Reports said Al-Hilal was willing to pay United up to £100 million, $135 million, for the 30-year-old Portugal international. "The president of Al-Hilal called me and asked me if I wanted to move there," Bruno confirmed, saying the club waited for me to think about my future.